The city of Zelia was shining and rich. Tall buildings touched the sky. Aircars flew in perfect lines. Robots cleaned the streets every hour. It looked like a perfect place. But near the back of the alien hospital, behind the bright walls and clean floors, there was something terrible happening. Two alien doctors opened a metal door and dragged out a small girl on a broken hover stretcher. She wasn't moving much. Her skin was pale blue with gray patches. Her arms were thin. One eye was swollen shut. Metal patches were on her chest and legs, but they were damaged and sparking. "She's not responding," one doctor said. "She's a failed hybrid." The other replied coldly, "The mix didn't work. No ID, no family. She's not our responsibility." They pushed her off the stretcher. She fell onto the cold ground, hard. The doctors turned around and walked back inside. The hospital door closed. No one looked back. Across the street, a human named Alex Granger was sitting on a metal bench fixing a small drone. He was a traveling mechanic from Earth. He had come to this planet to find work fixing machines, but what he saw made him drop his tool. "Hey, what are you doing?" he shouted. The doctors ignored him. The hospital had rules. No humans allowed, especially not in the emergency wings. Alex stood up and ran across the street. A few aliens passing by looked at the girl, shook their heads and kept walking. She wasn't important to them, but she was important to him. He knelt beside her. Her breathing was slow and shallow. Her fingers twitched. One eye opened just a little, a glowing violet eye. "You're alive," Alex whispered. "Don't move, I'm here now." He gently took off his jacket and wrapped it around her small, cold body. She didn't speak, but a weak sound came from her mouth, like a tiny whimper. Alex looked at the hospital. He wanted to kick the doors open, but he knew the truth. They wouldn't help her. He had heard stories before. Some alien hospitals threw away patients they couldn't cure, especially hybrids or mutants. They said they were unclassified or too costly to fix. Alex didn't know her name. He didn't know where she came from, but he knew one thing. She didn't deserve to die like this. He picked her up carefully. Her body was so light, like she hadn't eaten in days. Her breathing was rough. Her skin felt warm, but not in a good way. She had a fever. "I need help." "But where?" Alex muttered. No hospital would accept a human walking in with a broken alien girl. He didn't have rich contacts. And even if he took her to the human district, it would take too long. Then, he remembered something. The vet, it sounded crazy. But a few weeks ago, while working in the lower district, Alex had helped an old human woman repair her auto door. She ran a veterinary clinic for alien pets, but some locals whispered she could do more than pet care. Some even said she used to be a real doctor before she got banned from the system. Her name was Dr. May. Alex had no choice. He turned down the alleyways, carrying the weak girl in his arms. Her head rested on his shoulder now. Her breathing was slower. "Stay with me," he whispered. "Don't give up. Please." He reached the old clinic, a small shop with a faded sign. Dr. May's healing den. No questions asked. Alex knocked hard. Nothing. He knocked again, this time louder. "Dr. May, please, I need help, it's urgent." A small security camera blinked above the door. A voice answered through the speaker. "If it's an animal, leave it on the table, I'm off duty." Alex looked into the camera. "She's not an animal. She's a girl, an alien girl. They left her to die. I don't know what species she is, but she's alive." "Barely." A long pause. Then the door unlocked with a loud click. "Bring her in," the voice said. Inside, the place was full of strange smells. Medicine, alien herbs, and old steel. Machines beeped in the corners. A robotic arm moved slowly above a glowing medical table. Dr. May walked in. She was old, gray-haired, wearing gloves and a long coat stained with oil and medicine. She looked at the girl in Alex's arms. Her face changed, anger, surprise, and pity all at once. She's hybrid, Dr. May muttered. And in terrible shape. The hospital dumped her, didn't they? Alex nodded. They called her a failure. Dr. May shook her head. She's not a failure, they are. She pointed to the table. Lay her down. Let's see if we can save her. The clinic smelled like old oil, medicine, and something wild. Dr. May didn't waste time. She rolled up her sleeves, pulled on her scanner goggles, and leaned over, the alien girl. Her old robotic assistant Scruff hovered silently nearby, shining a soft blue light over the table. She's fading, May said, voice calm but fast, breathing shallow, core temperatures falling, heartbeat, irregular, almost synthetic. Alex stood beside her, heart pounding. Can you save her? I don't know, May replied. She's not listed in my database. She's not just alien. She's something mixed. May pointed to a patch of metallic skin under the girl's ribs. This isn't armor. This is grown metal. And her organs? Some biological, some not. Alex blinked. What does that mean? It means, May said, someone made her this. Wait. Nova didn't speak, but her eye fluttered open briefly. She stared at the strange lights above her. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. May quickly placed a translator node on the girl's neck. The device lit up weakly. Not cold, her voice whispered through static. Alex leaned closer. Hey, you're safe now. Can you tell us your name? The girl blinked slowly, then her head turned slightly toward him. Name. Forgotten, May frowned. She's got memory damage too, either from trauma or programming. Programming? She might have been wiped, May said darkly. Test subjects sometimes are. May moved fast, calling out to Scruff for tools. IV, fluids, biofoam, neural stabilizer. Go. Scruff beeped and rolled over. Tubes and machines moved into place. As she worked, Alex stepped back and looked around the clinic. It wasn't fancy. The walls were cracked, the equipment old, but it had heart. This place was real, not like the shining, heartless hospital across the city. He spotted a wall covered in photos, small animals, alien creatures, and even a few hybrid children. Most of them were smiling. You helped all these? He asked. May nodded without looking up. Most vets turn away anything too strange. I don't. Why? She glanced at him. Because life is life, doesn't matter how it was born. Hours passed. The girl's breathing grew steadier. Her body stopped shaking. The fever broke. May finally pulled off her gloves and sighed. She'll live. But she'll need time. Alex smiled. Thank you. But May wasn't smiling. She looked troubled. She's not just some lab reject, she said. She's a combination of 3 DNA types, 2 alien, and 1 human. Alex froze. Wait, human? That's not possible. I didn't believe it either, May said, but I scanned her twice. Human genes, yours and mine. Not a full match, but close. Alex looked at the girl again. She was asleep now. Peaceful. But something about her felt important. Like a puzzle piece he didn't know was missing. Suddenly, the door sensor beeped. Scruff turned and flashed a red warning light. Someone outside. It beeped. May's eyes narrowed. Alex, take her to the back room now. Alex didn't ask questions. He gently lifted the girl, now wrapped in a soft blanket, and carried her into a small back chamber. He laid her on a padded bench and closed the sliding door. From the front, muffled voices came. A cold, robotic tone spoke. We tracked energy signatures. Hybrid test subject escaped Sector 12. Authorization required to scan your property. May's voice replied sharply. You have no jurisdiction here. This is private human space under treaty law. The voices got angrier. Failure to comply will be reported. Do it then, and get off my doorstep. Footsteps. Silence. Then the door sensor chimed again. They left. Alex waited a moment, then stepped out. What was that? May closed, The clinic's security lock. Hunters, private agents, they're not police, they work for labs and research groups. They were looking for her. May nodded. And now they know someone's hiding her. She looked at Alex with serious eyes. If we keep her here, they'll come back. With more force. Alex looked toward the back room. Then we move her. To where? May asked. No hospital. We'll take her. No orphan program, she's illegal. She's a secret no one wants to admit exists. Alex clenched his jaw. I don't care. I'm not letting them take her back to wherever they did this. May studied him for a moment. You've only known her a few hours. Why do you care so much? Alex looked down. I guess. Because when everyone else saw nothing, I saw someone. Ending. Hook for part 3. In the back room, the girl's eye opened again. She looked at the ceiling, then whispered a single word in a weak voice. Home? The old clinic was quiet now. The machines beeped softly. Outside, the city lights glowed through the cracked window. But inside the back room, something strange was happening. The alien girl lay still on the padded bench. Her chest rose and fell, gently. Dr. May had patched her wounds and balanced her vitals. The girl should have been asleep, but something beneath her skin was glowing. A soft golden light flickered from the center of her chest, just below the metal plate covering part of her ribs. It pulsed slowly like a heart. But it wasn't just a heart. It looked alive, but also not. Alex stood beside her, watching carefully. He had stayed up all night. He couldn't stop thinking about her, this girl the hospital gave up on who now breathed because of a vet and a stranger. She stirred, her eye opened, violet and glowing faintly in the dark. She looked at Alex, still weak but no longer afraid. He smiled softly. Hey, welcome back. The girl blinked. Then her voice came through the translator, quiet like wind through glass. Where am I? Alex crouched beside her. You're safe, you're in a clinic, we found you near the hospital. She tried to sit up but winced in pain. Her metal-covered arm trembled. Easy, Alex said, gently helping her lean back. You're still healing. The girl looked down at herself. Her fingers traced the edge of the patch on her chest. She felt the light, and fear returned to her face. No, not again, she whispered. Alex frowned. What do you mean? They find me. If I glow. Alex looked at the light beneath her skin. What is it? I don't know, she said. They said it's power, but they said I was broken, that it didn't work. Who said that? She looked away. The ones who made me. Dr. May entered the room quietly, holding a small tablet. Vitals are stable, she said. But she's carrying something inside her, something that doesn't match any known tech. She sat down beside Alex and showed him the tablet. The glow in her chest? It's not just energy. It's organic tech, some kind of living machine. Alive? Alex asked. May nodded. It pulses like a second heart, but I've never seen anything like it. It's bonding to her biology, healing her, adapting to her body. That's why she's recovering so fast. The girl looked at them, confused. I wasn't healing before. I was getting worse. May gave her a soft smile. That's because they didn't care. But your body? It's trying to fight. It just needed help. Suddenly, the girl's eye locked on Alex again. You are not like them. Alex chuckled. I get that a lot. No, she said. You look normal, but your words are warm. He tilted his head. You've never been treated kindly before, have you? She didn't answer. She didn't have to. May sat back. We still don't know her name. The girl looked down again. They never gave me one. Alex thought for a moment, then smiled. How about Lyra? She blinked. Lyra? It means light from the stars, he said. You kind of glow, you know. For the first time, her lips twitched into something close to a smile. Lyra, she said it slowly, carefully, like she was tasting it. Then she whispered, "It's mine?" Alex nodded. "All yours?" That moment, small and quiet, felt like the start of something big, a name, a place, a second chance. Just as the peace settled over the room, a red light blinked on Dr. May's monitor. She frowned. Someone scanned the building. Alex stood up. "Again?" "Same signal as before," she said. "Lab-grade frequency. They're still looking for her." Lyra's smile vanished. Her body tensed. "They always look. They always find." Alex knelt beside her again. "Not this time. But they have machines, drones, hunters. So do we," Alex said with a small grin. "Well, kind of." May rolled her eyes. "You still have that patched-up delivery drone?" Alex smirked. "Maybe." May stood. "We'll need to move. Tomorrow." "Where?" Alex asked. May looked at Lyra, then back at him. "Somewhere they don't expect. Somewhere a glowing girl won't be treated like trash." Ending hook for part 4. As the night grew darker, Lyra whispered to herself, "If I live, maybe I can help the others." Alex overheard her. He didn't say anything, but in that moment he knew. She wasn't just surviving. She was planning to fight back. The sun never really rose in the lower city. The air stayed gray. The sky was always filled with smoke, neon signs, and the buzz of patrol drones. Inside Dr. May's clinic, the girl named Lyra sat up for the first time. Her small body still trembled, but her eyes burned brighter now. Less like a victim and more like someone who had tasted life and wanted more. Alex handed her a warm drink. She held the cup carefully, like it might vanish. Her fingers still shook, but she didn't spill a drop. "Thank you," she whispered. Alex sat nearby, watching her closely. "How are you feeling?" Lyra looked down at the soft blanket wrapped around her legs. "Strange, strong and weak at the same time." Dr. May tapped on her scanner pad, adjusting settings. "That's normal for you," she said without looking up. "You're complicated." Lyra tilted her head. "Complicated?" May walked over, showing them the data on her pad. It displayed swirling colors and strange shapes, scans of Lyra's body. "You're not just a mix of alien DNA," May explained. "You're made from 3 different species, and one of them is human." Lyra's hands tightened on her cup. "They said I was a mistake." May shook her head. "No, they lied." Alex leaned forward. "So, how? Why mix so many species into one child?" May looked serious. "Some labs experiment in secret. They try to create hybrids that can survive extreme environments, resist disease, or access advanced tech. But when it goes wrong, they dump them." Alex finished bitterly. "Yes," May said. "If the subject is unstable or doesn't show the results they want, they're erased. Like trash." Lyra's voice cracked. "I wasn't supposed to be born." May crouched in front of her. "No, Lyra. You weren't supposed to be found. That's different." Later that afternoon, while Lyra rested, Alex opened his portable data pad and searched the city's black market news feeds. He found it. Unconfirmed lab breach, Sector 12. 1 subject missing. Authorities deny any experiments. The article included a blurry image. A child with glowing eyes. Lyra Alex showed it to May. They know she escaped. May read it quietly. "And they don't want the public to know the truth. That's why they're sending silent hunters instead of going to the media." "They'll keep coming," Alex said. "What if we go to the authorities first?" May shook her head. "Won't work. Labs like these are backed by corrupt officials. If we go public now, they'll erase the evidence and us with it." Alex clenched his fists. "So what do we do?" May turned slowly, eyes fixed on the small glowing girl sleeping in the next room. "We find out where she came from. Who made her? And we show the galaxy the truth." That night, Lyra had a dream. Not like a memory, but a message. She stood in a white room. Cold, silent. A voice echoed around her. A woman's voice. Subject 8. Reactivate test layer 3. Memory lock remains engaged. She screamed, "I'm not a number." But the voice kept going. Failure. Prepare for disposal. Suddenly the walls burned red. Lyra woke up screaming. Alex ran in. "Lyra," she grabbed his arm, shaking. "They talk in my dreams. I think they're inside me." May appeared behind them. "That glow in your chest? It might be more than energy. It could be a transmitter, maybe even a tracker." Lyra looked down, panicked. "Did I lead them here?" Alex grabbed May's arm. "Can we remove it?" May paused. "If we try and fail, it might kill her." Lyra shook her head. "Then don't remove it. Use it." They stared at her. "Let them come," she whispered. "But this time, we'll be ready." May smiled slowly. "That's bold. I like it." Alex grinned. "She's got fire." As the three prepared the clinic for a possible fight, a small red dot appeared on the scanner. Someone had just activated a search beacon, and it was locked. On Lyra. The red dot blinked on Dr. May's old tracker screen. It pulsed steadily. Quiet. Dangerous. May leaned closer, eyes narrowed. "That's not a casual ping. That's a live search beacon, military grade." Alex stepped up beside her. "They've locked on her signal." In the back room, Lyra sat silently, holding a heating pad against her chest. Her face had changed. No more wide-eyed fear. Now she looked focused, like someone who had decided to stop running. "They're coming for me," she said softly, "just like before." Alex turned to her. "But this time you're not alone." The old clinic turned into a fortress overnight. May flipped open crates covered in dust. Old tech, defense drones, and even makeshift pulse grenades, leftovers, from her time as an outlaw field doctor. Scruff, her round robotic assistant, whirred excitedly as he armed himself with a shock zapper and a net launcher. Alex reinforced the walls with scrap metal and welded the front door shut. "They want to fight? They'll get one." Lyra, now walking with help from a light support harness, moved around slowly, learning the layout of the clinic. She stared at every tool, every camera, every exit. "I know what they'll send," she whispered. "They don't come with warnings. They come with erasers." The first sign came at midnight. The wind stopped, and then, without a sound, the lights died. May grabbed a portable lamp. "EMP pulse," she said. "They're close." Alex reached for his old plasma cutter, flipped it into combat mode. Everyone in position. Outside, black shadows moved through the fog. Silent. Fast. They weren't guards. They weren't soldiers. They were retrievers, special units used to bring back escaped test subjects. No emotions, no names. Just orders. The front door exploded. Inward. Alex ducked behind the counter and fired his cutter. Blue fire sliced through the air, knocking one retriever back. Scruff launched a net, wrapping another enemy in electric wires. May shouted, "Keep them away from Lyra." From the side, a third agent leapt forward, but Lyra, standing behind the surgical bed, raised her hand. Her chest glowed, a wave of heat pulsed out, knocking the attacker to the floor. "I said," she growled, "I'm not going back." The fight was fast, rough and close, but the defenders were smart. They used the clinic's maze-like halls and traps to slow the enemy. Down one retriever reached Lyra. He grabbed her arm. Target acquired, but Lyra looked him in the eye. "I'm not your property." Her hand lit up, and the beacon in her chest flashed red. A surge of energy blasted from her body. The retriever flew backward and smashed through a table. Alex ran in, breathing hard. "What was that?" Lyra stood tall. "That glow inside me. It listens when I'm angry." May joined them, panting. "Whatever tech they planted in you, it's responding to your emotions. That's why they called you unstable. But it's not unstable, it's alive." The last two retrievers ran. They left smoke bombs behind. In the confusion, one dropped a device. Alex picked it up. It was a recovery chip. On it, a hologram played. A scientist's voice. Test Subject 8 was not meant to last. Her fusion core is flawed. If she activates it, she'll collapse. If not returned, initiate code black. May's face turned pale. Code black means termination from orbit. They're going to bomb this whole place? Alex said, shocked. Lyra looked up, fire in her eyes. Then we leave first and Greer and tell the world. They moved fast. Alex packed a hover bike with survival kits. May copied all the medical data, DNA scans, and fight recordings onto a secure drive. Lyra wrapped herself in a cloak and stepped outside into the fog. Behind them, the clinic lights flickered. A high whistle filled the air. Move, May shouted. They sped off as a bright flash lit the sky. Seconds later, the clinic, their only shelter, was gone. As they rode through the night, Lyra held the data close to her chest. They tried to erase me, she said. Now I'll make sure everyone knows I exist. Would you like me to write part 6 next? The world behind them burned. Flames rose where the clinic once stood. Smoke followed their hover bike through the narrow canyons of the industrial district. Alarms didn't go off. Sirens didn't sound, because no one wanted to admit what just happened. They hadn't just bombed a building, they'd tried to erase a girl. Alex kept the hoverbike steady as Lyra clung to him, silent under her hood. Behind them, Dr. May rode, a smaller bike, carrying Scruff and the data core with all of Lyra's information. They rode until the city turned into desert, where no eyes watched and no machines listened. They stopped at an old repair station, long abandoned. A roof still stood. Enough shade for hiding. Enough walls for rest. Lyra stepped off slowly. Her chest still glowed under her clothes. Faint. Unstable. May scanned her quickly. Her energy spiking again. Alex helped her sit on an old crate. Can we stop it? No, May said. It's not something you stop, it's part of her. Lyra looked up, voice quiet. They said it would explode one day, that I was broken, that I had no future. Alex sat beside her. Then they were wrong. Inside the old building, they set up a small base. Solar panels, food packs, water filters. Alex started building a signal booster using broken tools and May's medical drones. May worked on stabilizing Lyra's vitals, but her readings were strange. No one had ever seen anything like them. Her heart is fused with tech. But not just tech, May explained. It's something alive. It doesn't just power her, it listens to her emotions. Alex nodded. It reacts when she's scared, when she's angry. May looked over. That's why they failed. They wanted a machine, but they created someone with a soul. That night, Lyra sat near the small fire. Stars shone above her, and for the first time she wasn't hiding under a roof. Alex came over and handed her a blanket. You warm enough? She nodded. Thank you, and for everything. He smiled. You don't have to thank me. I do, she said. You fixed more than my body. He didn't know how to reply. She looked up. You gave me a name. Do you know how powerful that is? Alex tilted his head. Powerful? Lyra nodded. I was nothing. A number. I was 8. Just 8. But now I'm Lyra. And Lyra is not afraid anymore. The next morning, Alex switched on the signal booster. It began broadcasting the files. Lyra's DNA scans, voice logs, her video from the clinic, the retrieval attack, the bomb warning, all of it. Sent to underground networks, resistance hubs, and independent galactic journalists. They didn't ask for permission, they told the truth. The response was fast, hundreds of messages, dozens of planets asking, is this real? Are there more like her? Where is she now? Then came the threats. Encrypted messages warned them to stop. One said, she is not yours. Return her, or be hunted forever. Alex showed it to Lyra. She didn't flinch. Let them come, she said. Let them see who I've become. That night, May gave her a new support harness, sleeker, stronger, custom-built by human hands. Lyra stood in it for the first time, taller than before. Her eyes glowed brighter. Her steps were smooth. Alex stood back and clapped. You look like a warrior, she smiled. I feel like one. Suddenly, an alert. One of the transmission nodes they used had been traced. Not to them, but to someone else. A rebel reporter on a distant station. The woman had been arrested. The signal cut off. May gasped. They're shutting down every truth source. Lyra stepped forward. Then we go bigger. Alex raised an eyebrow. How big? Lyra looked up at the sky. Broadcast it to the galactic core where the leaders are, the place where they pretend nothing is wrong. May shook her head. Impossible. Their systems are locked, protected. Lyra looked at Alex. You can get me there, she said. He hesitated, then smiled. Let's break the silence. As their small ship lifted into the dark sky, Lyra stared through the window. They called me a failed project. Now they'll hear my voice. She placed her hand over the glow in her chest. Let them feel what they made me. The small stolen starship broke through the clouds of the lower world, entering the blackness of space. It was old, scratched, and patched with parts from 10 different planets, but it was fast and invisible to standard tracking. Inside the IDC cockpit, Lyra sat in silence. Her hands rested over the glowing center of her chest, the place where alien doctors had planted a power source, one they believed had failed. It hadn't failed, it had changed, and now it pulsed in rhythm with her heart, strong, alive. Behind her, Alex guided the ship toward the galactic core. Dr. May sat beside him, updating the coordinates. If we reach the outer ring, she said, we can bounce the signal to the core's public tower. Everyone in the galaxy will see it, governments, stations, colonies, all of them. Alex nodded. And if we get caught? We don't get caught, May replied. We finish what we started. They didn't have stealth tech, but Lyra had. Something better. Herself. With her neural interface wired directly to the ship's core systems, she could trick sensors. Her mind and the strange biotech in her chest synced with the ship's nervous system. She's not flying it, May said, watching the readings. She's becoming it. As the ship neared the outer ring of the galactic core, alarms flashed across enemy scanners. Unauthorized vessel detected. Signal encryption unstable. Unknown core signature. Possible hybrid tech. Inside a sleek building floating among the stars, 3 officials watched the red dot appear on their display. It's her, one said. The girl from the data leak, Subject 8. She's heading straight for the broadcast array. Do we fire? No, the senior official replied coldly. We scramble the sky. Dozens of hunter drones launched from security satellites. Fast, silent, programmed to disable or destroy. But Lyra was ready. As the first drone closed in, her eyes glowed bright violet. I see them. The power in her chest surged, feeding through the ship's systems. Metal sparked. Engines roared. She moved faster than any pilot ever could, not because of skill, but because she felt the machine. Alex held on as the ship twisted between stars. She's dancing with death, he whispered. May shouted, redirect power to. Shields. I don't have to, Lyra said. I am the shield. Her energy pulsed outward, radiant waves that shorted 2 drones before they could fire. The others paused, confused. They weren't used to fighting a person who was her own weapon, but more were coming. And Lyra was tiring. Her breath grew short. Her hands trembled. Alex looked back. We're close, just hold on. The station appeared ahead, the galactic broadcast array. It floated like a silver ring surrounded by towers and antennas. They were almost there. Then, boom. A drone clipped their wing. The ship spun. Alex shouted, trying to stabilize. May slammed the emergency override, and Lyra closed her eyes. No more running. She stood, walked to the center of the cabin, and opened her arms. The glow in her chest exploded in brightness. Every drone's feed filled with static. Their commands failed. One by one they shut down and floated dead in space. Lyra fell to her knees, gasping. I gave them everything I had, she whispered. Alex caught her before she collapsed. We made it, he said. We're here. The ship docked roughly at the outer edge of the tower. May guided them to the manual control room. There, a single console stood, used only in emergencies. Behind it, a massive camera faced open space, meant for system-wide. Warnings. Will it work? Alex asked. May nodded. Only one person can stand in that light. Lyra stepped forward, pale but standing. I will. She walked to the center of the circle, her body weak, her eyes glowing, her heart racing. She placed her hand on the console. The camera powered up. Every screen on every major planet flickered. Billboards, news feeds, tablets, ship consoles. Across the galaxy, people stopped what they were doing and saw her, a small girl with glowing eyes, pale skin, thin arms, a strange metal light beating in her chest, and when she spoke, every world heard. My name is Lyra. I was born from silence, built in darkness, grown in a lab where no one was meant to survive. I was not treated as a child. I was tested, wounded, abandoned. The doctors said I was a mistake, a failed project. They said I had no soul. But they were wrong. She lifted her head. The camera zoomed in on her glowing heart. This is the thing they gave me. They called it a broken power source, but it became my voice, my shield, my fire. They wanted me gone, but I am still here. And I know there are others like me, still locked away, still waiting to be seen. I am not asking for help. I am asking for truth, for justice, for freedom. Her voice trembled. I'm not a lab number. I'm not property. I am a life, and I will not be erased. Behind her, Alex and May stood still. No one moved. No one breathed. And then, across the galaxy, the reaction began. Crowds gathered in streets, aliens, humans, hybrids, watched in silence. On outer moons, mothers wept. In rebel stations, engineers stood and saluted. In government offices, alarms rang. The galaxy had heard, and now it couldn't forget. 2 weeks later, the lab responsible for Lyra's creation was raided. Records were destroyed, but not before copies leaked everywhere. 7 more test subjects were found, alive. Lyra asked to meet each one. She greeted them with hugs, with warmth, with words no scientist ever gave. You matter. 1 month later, a new shelter opened, run by May and Alex, sponsored by planets across the sectors. They called it the Lyra Project, a home for the forgotten. Final scene, the new dawn on a peaceful planet with purple skies. Lyra stood at the edge of a garden. Children played behind her, some with scars, some with metal limbs, some with eyes like stars. Alex stood beside her, older, wiser, still watching her like a big brother. You did it, he said. She nodded. We did. May walked up with scruff and smiled. You're not just a survivor, Lyra. You're a beginning. Lyra looked at the rising sun. They tried to silence me, but I became a voice no one could shut off. I was made in a lab, but I became human in their hearts.